Before I start, I'm just in the bedroom because Luke is out the front talking to one of our neighbours about cars. Could be there for quite a while. I don't have too much time to wait for them to finish because they could be there for hours. And I need to get started, so I thought I'd do the intro in here. Hello and welcome to my studio. Hello and welcome to my video. I'm Noemi from Pigeon Art, and today we're going to be sewing. We're actually going to be mending. So those of you who have been on my channel for a little while may have seen me making this pouch, which I made for my Kobo e-reader about a year ago. But in January, when Benji came to live with us for a little while, a little foster dog, he had a go at it. So this was cardboard. You can probably see the cardboard in here. This was cardboard, so he really liked chewing into cardboard, which was good to know for when I was making toys. It's been like this a while. I'm kind of embarrassed to be going out in public with this. I think my best course of action is to undo this stitching, undo the buttonholes, and then I'm going to slide a bit of plastic in, and while it's open I will also be sewing a patch over this. I haven't decided how. I don't even know if it'll work, but we'll try. I'll let you know if it was worth trying to fix, or should I have just made a new one. Luckily, this denim fabric was from some old jeans that I've used for a couple of projects, but I do have some leftovers, so it'll be the same color, maybe a bit more or less faded depending on where on the leg it was, but that should be okay. Now you know what I'm doing. Straight into it. Looks like the neighbor's gone, so I could probably have waited, but it could have been 2 hours. This is the piece of plastic that I want to use. It's actually one of those chopping boards, but we use wooden ones now, which this might be an unpopular opinion, but it's actually healthier than plastic. I'm going to start by unpicking all this line and the buttonholes. Hopefully that's not too difficult to do. So I'm going to have to hand stitch these back in because I've already cut the buttonholes, so I don't think that will work with my sewing machine. All right, I'll just try and hide some of the mess in the background with my arms. It's a bit dark in here, and that's because I have two computers in here now. Got my normal computer right here, and I've got a massive computer right here. I bought this computer secondhand. It's a lot more powerful than my old one. I just have them both set up because I need to transfer everything off this one onto this one. So yeah, there's not much room. Don't know how I'm going to fit my sewing machine in here, but we'll see. That's a problem for later. Oh, I'm feeling it rip. Just felt this rip a little bit, so I'm going to have to be more careful, not pull on it. I'm hoping when I put denim on it, this knit fabric underneath will give the structure it used to have. All right, I've only done a tiny bit of a hand unpicking. I'm gonna go do the rest in the sun. It's a beautiful day today, and I'll be back. If you've seen a little bit of unpicking, you've seen all the unpicking, so I won't bother filming that. I'll take my cup of tea into the sun and I'll be back then. Okay, okay, so my unpicking's done. As you can see, he had a lot of fun chewing this, and this is now out. I was just chatting to Luke about this, and he suggested maybe doing a whole strip instead of just the patch. So from here all the way down, just to make it look like another feature, and I like that. First, I need to reinforce this and make it sit flat. So I think I'm just going to hand stitch, because normally I would probably do some zigzagging, you know, over the thing, but it's just an awkward spot. I'm going to hand stitch this flat, reinforce it, and I think it needs some reinforcing over here too, where I heard some cracking. I don't know how well you can see that, but the seam allowance is now ripped, so yeah, I need to reinforce that as well. So I'm going to do that. I've got myself some tools to cut up the chopping board. Hopefully all of my fingers stay intact in the remaking of this pouch. I probably would have done better to have fixed this as soon as it happened instead of continuing to use it. Probably made it more fragile and stretched, but it's done now. That's how long it takes me to get around to doing projects. Laying it flat one side and then go into the fabric on one side of the slit and come out of the fabric on the other side of the slit. It doesn't matter if it's messy because I'm going to be covering it up with the patch. I just need to make sure I don't do what I just did. Maybe you can't see this. I picked up a little bit of the fabric in my stitch, so let's try that again. I just want to pick up the denim side, not the knit side. Should really have my finger under there, but I also want it to be really flat so it doesn't bubble up when I'm sewing it, so I'm not sure how to do that. Oh, hang on. That solves the issue. Shame it took me this whole time to work it out. I don't know how long this repair will last for. I'm not a repair expert, nor am I just an expert of anything, but even if I get another 6 months out of it, I'll be happy because it cost me nothing. This was all remnants. Let's have a look. Yeah, looks like a big scar. Anyway, that's fine. I think I'll use the, I don't want to go too far down because where it's really stretched, that still has a fair bit of stretch in it. So that's got the seam allowance, so that's no problems. Oh, this is when I never use these. Pen. Rub it all off and start again. Much better. This is one of those friction pens, so if I eventually decide the lines are a problem, I can just use my iron and get rid of them. You can just buy these at a stationery store. It's not actually a sewing supply. I bought this from our local Woolworths in the stationery aisle, and they're removed by heat, not really friction. The heat that friction creates, basically. Okay, let's give that a go. I don't know if you can see that, but it worked. There's a zipper there I could use. I'm going to have to hand sew it all because I can't really think how I'm going to get the sewing machine in like these awkward little bits. I'm going to go in with my iron and just iron these down. So first I need to cut off these corners. And then I'll come in and iron down each side. That, and then I can whip stitch it on, I guess. This side here I probably won't need to do until the very end, this one, because I'm going to be, once I've put the plastic in there, sheet of plastic, I'll be top stitching that up back closed, so that can be done at the same time. This is my fancy ironing board. I didn't want to buy an ironing board when I got my new iron because they take up so much room. Let's go with cotton. Denim's cotton, right? Mostly. Actually, this one's got spandex in it, or maybe not. Maybe I should cool it down a bit. I want to make this, turn this into an actual ironing board with some cotton batting and all that, but that is a problem for the future. So I'm seeing an issue here. There's some raw bits up sticking out from some corners, so I'm going to try and fix that. I need to take it in a little bit more. I've made the seam allowances a bit bigger than I've been folding them in, so fix that now. Alright, so while I'm sewing, hand sewing, I can tuck this in. Hang on, do I make this go over here like that and that? And then when I go to close it shut, this is fiddly. On that way anyway. Okay. And then fill this down everywhere else. Not straight. It's annoying. I think this one needs to be a little bit more. Okay, that's a bit better. Here, this colour. That's the colour I had with the top stitching and the buttonholes. So, like, make it a feature. You know, can't fix it perfectly. Make it a feature. I'm going to start it in one corner here. Push it in with this. Get myself a clip of some sort so it holds it there. Let's see if that worked. If it's just going to get in the way. I think I'm just going to do a couple more here that hit the corner, because that's going to be a point of stress, and just maybe reinforce that. This is what it looked like on that side, which I'm pretty happy with. It's not going to look the same on here because obviously we're going to be able to see the felling from the top, from above, but I think I'll still be doing it the same way. And now I have to be careful not to hit the fabric underneath because because I need to still be able to fit the chopping board for plastic through. So already my needles are pinned in both all layers instead of just the one, or the top two. And I'll try and keep it as flat as possible. I was very lucky that my e-reader wasn't actually in the pouch at the time when Benji decided to have a chew of the pouch. I wasn't too, I was annoyed, but I wasn't too upset at him for eating the pouch because I knew I could fix it. That's very fixable. But the only way to fix a chewed up e-reader, as far as I know, is to buy a new one, and that would have bothered me much, much more. I mean, we expected some behavioural issues from Benji anyway. If you're getting a dog from the pound, you've just got to expect it, and we knew Benji had had a terrible childhood, so puppyhood. So he actually, when he came to us, we didn't realise, we couldn't work out why he would never come when we called him. He didn't even know some little normal commands like sit or come, so we had to start from scratch with his training. I'm glad he's now with a lovely family. But yeah, the best parts of having Benji as a foster was just seeing him come out of his shell and become a dog. First time he wagged his tail was while he was sleeping, so I was working from home and he was sleeping behind me, and I heard suddenly, and I thought, oh, I wonder, he must be scratching his head. Looked around and he's fast asleep and his tail's just hitting the couch next to him. That was nice. It's just nice to see him do things that dogs do naturally, you know, which took a long time of him being with us for him to do. It's doing the reinforcing. And then I'm going to do the other side up. But I think that came out okay. It's not too bubbly. It was never going to be perfect, but that's okay. Nothing's perfect in this channel. I actually personally really like hand stitching. And one of the reasons is just you can really tidy things up as you go. And it gives you time to adjust if you need to, whereas when you are sewing with a machine, or when I'm sewing with a machine, I find I just want to get it done. It's not right. Oh well, it's done now. Now's the time to chop up this chopping board. Question as to how I'm going to do it is a good one. I've got a pen that's going to work on this, probably not. No, for example, a little bit, somewhat. So I've got obviously a fair bit of wiggle room if I decide that I did it wrong. And I can cut more. I'm just going to do it really softly first. So I don't want it to slip and hit my hand. I think it's going to take many passes. And look at that, my ironing board has doubled as a chopping board. I'd added the cardboard in that pouch as a way to protect the screen of my Kobo or my e-reader, because I just thought, oh, that sounded promising. Oh, that's great. Yes. One down. When I carry it around, go take it to work, that sort of thing, I didn't want anything sharp to penetrate the screen or anything like that. So it's just been helpful to just keep it safe, and I think this will be even more so. Okay, so 2 down, 1 to go. I know you're not really supposed to cut towards you, but I don't know how else you're supposed to do this. Like, I can't do that. I don't feel like I've got as much control that way. And done. Except for one tiny area. Yeah, see, that's quite sharp. These are quite sharp too. I might grab some sanding paper and just file down the sides and the corners. First things first though, before I do anything more, where is this gonna fit? I think it's gonna be okay. Just have to get it in without catching all of the fabric on the way down. I'm gonna take off about a couple of millimeters. Because it's struggling to get through. That's better. I'm actually wondering if I should put a second layer of plastic in here or not. Just trying to decide if I want to do 2 layers or not. Well, once it's in there. Okay, so quickly before Luke starts the car, he's just warned me. I'm just going to cut a second one of these, alright? So I'll be back once I've done that. So that's much stronger now. So I'm going to go downstairs and sand the edges and the corners. I wasn't filming that whole time. Oh, okay. I don't know what did and didn't film, so let's just go back from the beginning. I have the bits of plastic in there, inserted. I don't know if I'm going to need to put a few stitches here to just hold those down. I do tend to push upwards. I've got 2 more things to do. I just have to top stitch here, and then those buttonholes, I think I'm going to have to hand stitch them in. Last time my machine struggled. The button foot struggled with the 2 layers, so I think I'm going to need to hand stitch it now because it's got 3 layers and it's already got the cut bit there anyway, so which I know I can do hand stitch because I've seen it on YouTube. It'll just be a good opportunity for me to learn it. I was actually getting back on camera to say this would be a really good opportunity for me to use the new old machine, but I don't think I'm in the right headspace to try something new right now. Nothing wrong with me, I just, yeah. Wow, that was reassuring, I'm sure. I think it's going to take a lot of fiddling and working out what I need to do, so I just think for now I'm going to try with this machine. Hopefully it is able to go through many layers, because there will be 6 layers there. If it doesn't, then it gives me a good excuse to just work out the new machine. Everybody cross your fingers, I certainly will be. It's struggling, it's struggling. It just doesn't want to walk forward. Come on, I don't want to use the other machine right now. I want to have a whole video of me trying out the new machine on its own, nothing else. There we go. Oh, I actually have a denim needle. I should have changed it to that. My grandma gave me one, but I forgot until right now. It's a mess on this side, but that's the side no one's gonna see. Look, it's not ideal, but do I care right now? No. Oh no! Oh, I do care about that. So, only 1 layer out of 3 got picked up by the machine there, so we're going to need to undo that and redo it. Do I start all over again? I don't even know now. Okay. Alright, so now I need to do some YouTube research on how to hand sew your own buttonholes. So it doesn't look great. That's really my first attempt. I am not even going to link the tutorial that I followed because I didn't really watch it. And I don't want to tarnish that tutorial with this terrible job. Anyway, it's fine. It'll do the trick. You can't even see it when it's done up. So I'm just going to go over it again just once to try and get those little loose raw edges to behave a bit better. One day I will learn how to hand stitch buttonholes, but today is not the day. Look, you can't even tell once it's done up. And to me, that is good enough. So, let me finish this off. I'll do the other one in the sun outside, and I will come back for an outro. So that was the final product. I am pretty happy with being able to save it. This was a project that cost me nothing in the first place. It was my old jeans and a bit of remnant fabric and some buttons that I had in my stash, but I still liked the finished product last time, so I wanted to keep it, and I think that just because something has been chewed up doesn't mean it can't be saved. If I had to pick something that I don't like at all about it is the buttonholes, obviously, but I think when it's closed it is not a big deal to me. You may feel differently, and I completely understand that, but as long as I have a usable pouch, that was all that matters to me. So in the comments, let me know if your dog has ever eaten any of your stuff and what it was. I just have to remind myself that these are only things, and that, you know, there are much more important things out there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to give it a like. It really helps me out. I upload most Sundays with art, DIY and sewing videos, and I hope to see you then. Bye!